after winning in the Champions League on Wednesday, Galatasaray goes on the road in the Super League and loses. What? We'll talk about it now on the Galatasaray Show. Welcome back to the Galatasaray Show. I'm Brad. This is Serkan. Say hey, Serkan.
I don't want to say hi today.
Serkan's in a poo-poo mood. Oh, Serkan Alama, Serkan Alama. Well.
This is our first loss after 17 games.
Yes,
so I'm not used to losing games.
Yes, Galatasaray went on the road to Kocaelispor and lost 1-0. This makes 2 games in a row for the first time ever in Okan Buruk's career at Galatasaray that we've been shut out. Never happened before. 2 games in a row.
No,
so
didn't know that.
Is that part of a bigger problem we might have? But yes, we go there and lose in front of a packed house of green and black. I was a little bit shocked. I didn't know Kocaelispor got down like that. I thought they were one of these Istanbul-ish clubs with no fans like Fatih Karagümrük and these guys.
Oh, no. They used to play in the Süper Lig. That was back in 2000s, and they always had a great fan base.
So, not that I like losing, but if we're going to lose to somebody in the area, at least a team that has some fans, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about why we think we lost. So I started the day off and I saw that Icardi and Osimhen were starting together for the first time since the Tottenham match. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to be fun, because that match sure was fun. But it didn't take long to see that dynamic wasn't really working. The second four, not the back four, the middle four with Torreira and Lamina and our wings, the wings were fine, but we didn't really
couldn't
have...
make a connection between midfield and attack.
Yes, there was no link. I think they've kind of beat the attack out of Torreira because of the Champions League, he can't run forward free in the Champions League or we're screwed, right? He's got to defend. So him and Lamina were defending, and so you had Icardi and Osimhen up here, and nobody was feeding them the ball. There was no Ilkay. Sara didn't start. Yusuf Demir travels with the team. I don't know what he does. I guess he carries the bags, gets them water. I don't know what he does, because he sure as hell doesn't play. If there was ever a day where Sara has been out of form, Ilkay is injured, that you might try playing Yusuf, today was the day. And you know what? If they'd been playing Yusuf along, Yusuf would have been ready for today. But that's another subject. That's a very sore point with me, that we carry players around with us that never play, even when the person is in front of them is hurt. We play other players or play a weird formation. And so this was nothing like the formation that we had midweek against Ajax that was so effective. In that same game, we can talk about injuries, right? Ilkay's out. Yunus is out. He had surgery. Well, did Ilkay or Yunus play against Ajax? No, they didn't play. So we clearly can play well without them. But we can't play well if there's just nobody. You've got to feed Osimhen. He can create, but you need to feed him. And again, I like the idea. I think the big thing that I can blame on Okan is, unlike Wednesday, when we saw right away that Sara wasn't working, what did he do?
Take him out and bring another player in.
When?
Halftime.
Took him out at halftime. We could clearly see that Icardi as a playmaking midfielder was not working, right?
4-4-2 should have been our backup plan. We should have started the 11 that we started with Ajax.
I totally agree. I don't know why you wouldn't, because
Now that we play 4-4-2, we did not have a backup plan. If you want to to bring a striker from the bench. We didn't have one.
No. But my problem was, you saw Icardi wasn't working. I'm not saying Icardi's a bad player, but it's not working in that formation. He's not a running around in the middle of the field guy. So why wouldn't you take him out at halftime? Bring Sara in, bring Yusuf in, bring somebody in, because you still would have Barish out there.
Because he cannot bring Icardi out in the halftime.
Why not?
He can't do that.
Why?
He's the captain. He's going to be unhappy if you take him out in the halftime.
Abdul Karim was the captain of the team, and he didn't even start in the first Champions League game.
The reason that Icardi left PSG because he wanted to play in the first 11, right? He wanted to be a first-team player, but he wasn't. So he wanted to leave. So he's not going to accept the fact that he's going to be sitting on the bench.
He didn't sit on the bench. He started the game.
He was gonna be sitting on the bench in the second half.
Well, yes. That's how if you're not contributing on the field, you can't play. And I'm not saying
I'm on your side. Don't get me wrong. I'm on your side. I'm
not saying that he was doing anything wrong. That's just not the formation that is going to work. And so he left him in the entire game. I've seen a lot of Barish hate online. I thought Barish played pretty good, actually. He made some good runs, got to the box, made some good crosses. The problem was, right, no one played good today. No one played good.
Yeah, that was coming. I mean, I kind of felt it before the game. It was coming. We underestimated the opponent. We thought it was going to be an easy match. That's what I thought.
And so the title of this video is Reality Check for Galatasaray. And do I like that we lost? No. If I was going to pick somewhere to lose right now, it would have been today. Because just like all of us, how much have we seen between our WhatsApp groups, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, bu sizon ru gibi. Benim hayat şimdi ru gibi. It's like a dream. Bu sizon ru gibi. It's all like a dream. We're the same way. We're watching TV. I just watched one last night. It's 3 English guys. Now I've watched their channel before. A whole episode talking about Galatasaray intelligently. They actually watched our games and did an episode on the team. I've never seen that before. And so if us as fans are as punch drunk with Galatasaray love as we are, you don't think the coaches and the players have read the same thing?
Of course they do, yeah.
Their heads were like this walking into the stadium today. They just thought they could go.
I cannot accept the fact that we got too comfortable and underestimated them. I mean, it was coming. It was so obvious. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it.
Well, I mean, and now this is on Okan. This is on Okan. But how, as a player, right, am I going to go to Ajax, a team that beat us last year, a team that's beat the dog crap out of Besiktas, no Turkish teams ever won there, and we go there and we dominate them. We come back on a short week, right? I don't even know how much film we watched on Kocaelispor. Because that game was on Wednesday. You get back late Wednesday night. They train one day, I think. And
they took a day off.
Yeah. And so it's not an excuse, but yeah, of course our team's going to be more tired. We're playing way more games than Kocaelispor is. But at the same time, there's tons of players we could have played in the game. Maybe not the most experienced players, but players nonetheless. At least they've been fresh. And so, and like Okan after the game was saying that we're playing a lot of games. Well, yeah, we're playing a lot of games, but that's not going to stop. They've got this weekend off. Then they play Gençlerbirliği on the 22nd, USG 9 days later on the 21st, no, 25th, Fenerbahçe 6 days later on the 1st, Samsunspor, a really good team, 4 days later. We have Fenerbahçe and Samsunspor with 4 days between them. And then the 9th, we're at AS Monaco. You think you're tired now? Go play on the 25th.
Let's not fall back. Let's not fall back on excuses.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He said it, that they were tired and they didn't focus enough on the opponent, right?
You are the head coach.
Yes.
Your job is to motivate your players and put the ones that want to play. Well, in fact, we don't have any players on the bench. That's another problem that we've been talking about since the beginning of the season.
Yes, but again, so who do we have? We see the cadre that flies to the game, but then those players never play. So this is my problem. If we're supposed to be this big team, and you see where we're in this Champions League, we're in front of Barcelona, tied with PSG, 3 points behind Bayern, right? If Bergkan is so bad that he can't start against Kocaelispor, a fresh midfielder, why is he on the team?
Exactly.
If Yusuf is so terrible, a number 10 he is. He's a number 10. If he's so terrible that he can't start against Kocaelispor, why is he there? If Arda...
The problem was not the players, my friend. The problem was not the players that we played. The problem was the formation that we played in. 4-4-2. Why do we have two strikers at the same time?
I think part of it is that Okan doesn't trust any of those other players at all. I don't think he trusts them at all. And he's worried he's worried about fatigue.
I think he's trying to keep Icardi's morale high. Seriously, that's the only thing that I can think about right now.
Then that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Because again, we've said it before. It shouldn't matter what name's on the jersey, how much money you're getting paid, or what your name is. If you're not good enough to start, and that doesn't mean you're not good, right? You may be a great striker, but he's not as great as Osimhen right now. And if we can only play one striker, he can't start. He's not a midfielder. He's not a wing.
Well, yeah.
And
I mean, you got to fill them who.
And he's definitely slower than he was before the injury.
Yeah. 100%.
And so that's what I'm saying. If you couldn't play a single striker and put Bergkan or Yusuf or Arda and let these other guys rest, I mean, why are they on the team? Shouldn't we have a bench that can, if you're going to be playing in the Champions League, which we hope we are for a while, the Super League for sure, and guess what's going to start in January for us? Turkish Cup.
That's 100% on Okan. He got to impose his authority.
And so that's why I think this is a good thing. We needed this to happen, and I think it's a great time to happen before the break because they can really evaluate the team. I wouldn't want this to happen because as high as they were, if they'd walked into USG with this type of mentality, we wouldn't have won that game.
Well, Icardi would have played in that game anyway, so I don't see a problem.
And
he would have played Icardi in that game.
Well, I'd much rather drop points in the league than drop points in the Champions League.
Yeah, we all agree on that. We're on the same page.
And you can't go into the Fenerbahçe game or the Samsunspor game with the mindset we had today. We'd lose those games too.
Once again, I see two different problems. The first problem was the formation. The second problem was Icardi playing in this formation. 100%. If that was a different player, that would have been a different story. If it was like, I don't know, let's just call another player's name. Like Milan Baros, right?
Yep.
He was a dynamic guy on the pitch, right? If
Yeah.
it was Milan Baros, then that would have been a different story. But Icardi is a static player. Well, at least he is now.
Right. Well, yeah, when back in the day, when you had Hakan Şükür and you had Necati, right? Necati was more
Ferdinand,
dynamic.
Hakan Şükür.
Umut Karan. Umut Karan would have done fine today with Osimhen, right? He would have ran around in the midfield. He would have fed
You
Osimhen.
cannot play 4-4-2 with Icardi. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's
No.
not gonna happen. Maybe in Turkish Cup, yeah, but not in Turkish Super League or. I mean, that's something that we can use as a backup plan. If you're losing 1-0 or 2-0, then you can bring Icardi in.
Yeah, like a talisman.
And confuse the opponent, the defenders, right? But now you're using your plan B as plan A, and now that you don't have a plan B, you don't win that game.
Yeah, and when we're trying to rest people, Osimhen plays all 90 minutes, and now he's going to go off to the African Cup, and Icardi plays all 90 minutes, and Barnes played all 90 minutes.
So well, that's not a good news. Osimhen is going to that African Cup like in December or January, right?
Yes, December, I think.
So we got to rely on Icardi.
Well, it's not just Osimhen. It's like Davidson and Lamina and Jakobs too.
Singo. So we're
Singo?
yeah,
If they all go,
we're
yeah.
missing at least four key players, at least 4.
Oh yeah. Again, we didn't think we were going to go undefeated, and if it does make you feel any better, I'll look this up. I didn't know it. I had to do some research. In the 1999-2000 season, when Galatasaray won the UEFA Cup, we lost on August 15th of 99, 2-1 to Trabzonspor. On March 26th to Fenerbahce, 1-0. Boo. And then we lost to Altayspor on May the 12th, 1-0. So that great team, the wonderful Haji European Giants, lost 3 games in the league. And one of the teams was not Galatasaray or Trabzon. And if you want to go back to the last time we lost to somebody not named Besiktas or Fenerbahce, it was almost 2 years ago today. It was Hatayspor in Mersin, 1-0.
I don't mind losing games as long as we give our 100% on the pitch.
Right.
But this is not something that we did today.
Right.
We did not give anything.
But this is kind of uncharted waters, like at least for the past 13 years, right?
Yeah.
When it's been since 2012 where we've had to play in the league while we were doing so well in the Champions League. And if you remember, in 2000, that 12-13 team did not win the Super League. Fenerbahce did.
I think I said this multiple times.
I'm okay. I know what you're going to say.
I'm okay taking the second spot in the Turkish Super League as long as we do something remarkable in the Champions League.
But I keep saying back to that until things change. If you might do something remarkable this year and then not even play in it next year if you finish second.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's no direct path to qualifying.
I know. I don't know. I just feel sad.
So I'm not sad. You know why? Because I pulled out my phone and I looked at the Champions League standings and I saw us there tied on points with 6th place. So, and guess what? Fenerbahce won today. It's all doom and gloom. Kocaelispor's president's talking crap. But guess what? It's still leader Galatasaray. We're still up by a point. It's not like we lost our lead or something.
I'm not expecting us to win every single game. It's just a game that we played.
Well, no, and again, Okan's a great coach, but he's like only 52, right? So this is his first time too He's never had a team that's doing this well in the Super League that he's had to manage 2 different competitions. And remember, it's not like we're Samsunspor, right? Samsunspor goes somewhere, and it's not like they have a bloodlust to beat them, even though they are in Europe.
Yeah.
We're the back-to-back champions. Everybody, we've got a huge target on our back. We're like everyone's Super Cup, right? To use the American analogy, you know what this was today for Kocaelispor? This was their Super Bowl. They don't care what happens next week now. Watch them. They'll lose next week.
Oh, yeah.
They had every... You don't think Selçuk wanted to win this
It was a
game?
one-time thing for Kocaelispor.
Yeah. But no disrespect to them, they had not lost in the past 5 games coming into this. They started off rough, but then they'd won, drew, won, drew. Now they've won back-to-back games. So they haven't lost in their last 6 games, actually. So maybe Selçuk might have a little something there. Who knows? And again, we've complained about this too. Wouldn't it be great if the league was a little bit more competitive? Wouldn't it be nice? It's not like we had a bad plan, but they played really good. That goal they scored was a great individual goal. And they defended well. So I'm not going to take anything away from them. Selçuk had a great plan coming into the game, and they executed. Liverpool fans were talking about us beating them in the Champions League. That's how we're talking about Kocaeli beating us today.
It was a deja vu. We scored at 87 and they canceled the goal, so...
Yeah. Oh, now, you're a ref. Would you like to explain why? Because there's much animosity on the internet about this goal being disallowed. Explain to them why it was disallowed.
I'm trying to remember the position. There was this defender, and the goalkeeper was a little bit ahead of the defender. So the last man, so the defender becomes the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper become the defenders. Since Sara was blocking the goalkeeper's way, he was offside.
And that's only for a goalkeeper, right?
That's only for a goalkeeper, yes.
And because that defender was the goalkeeper, because the keeper was in front of him, that's who he was blocking.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah,
he was offside.
Because when you look at the picture, he's not offside with that defender.
He's not, no.
But it's because the keeper's in front of him.
So keepers becomes the defender, and that defender on the goal line becomes the goalkeeper.
Right.
Just take it that way. And the goal that they scored, people say it was offside. There's no offside from the goal kick.
No, I didn't see that either. I thought that was a legit goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not know that rule. And so I was super confused when they were looking at the position. I didn't know what was going on. But, we lost. We're still in first. And now we've got a break. No game this weekend. So that'll give Okan plenty of time to think about his choices and what he wants to do going forward. Again, you got lots of players on the bench. If you're not going to use them, you know what you should do in January? Find new players. Because it's not going to get any easier.
Nope, it's not.
So that's our take on the game. What'd you think about it? Do you have any other opinions than what we did? We appreciate everybody supporting us and everybody watching or listening on the podcast waves. We're getting the word out to all the English community about the greatest club in the world that loses sometimes but wins a lot more. So, what do we always say at the end of the broadcast, Serkan?
Hadi CimBom.
In Buke, CimBom.